Welcome back to the third and final installment of the Man Guide's Man to Man with Tony Kanaan. We pick up our conversation during an actual break from filming. As our crew took 5, Tony and I continued our casual conversation, and as is often the case, a golden moment was shared off camera. Luckily for us, however, one of our cameras kept rolling while Kanaan shared an absolutely priceless anecdote. We begin part 3 now with a wonderful story involving Tony's son Leo, which I'm thankful to say we were fortunate enough to capture.
So I put him in the car, and we're driving from Homestead back here, and he's in the back seat, and I'm thinking, I need to talk to this kid about being accepting to lose, because he hates it until today, like anything. Everything that I play with him since that day, now I win. No, now I win on purpose. And I let him be so pissed. So I'm talking to him and say, hey, Leo, do you know that sometimes when you lose a race or you lose a game or a competition in any sort, it's actually good for you? He's like, why it's good? Losing is not good. I said, no, it's good because it makes you stronger, makes you want to try harder. So next time you learn, you think about what you need to do, or whatever that competition is. If it's in school, you're going to study more for a test. If you get like an D minus.
Energy of your disappointment into something.
He's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, he says, because you understand a lot about losing, don't you? I'm like, what do you mean? He says, well, he was 5 at the time. He says, well, I'm 5, and since I've been born, I only hear stories that he won races, but I really haven't seen him winning a lot. Tone, I swear to God, I wanted to stop the car in the middle of 95 and said, get the fuck out of here.
Walk home.
And find your way home. And when you're home in Brazil, not here. So,
did he really say that?
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right. That was February of 13. And I said, do you know the Indy 500? I said, of course I know. I said, well, then I'm going to win that race. And I'm going to give you the trophy, and you're going to put it in your nightstand. So every time you wake up in the morning, you're going to look at it, and you're going to see that I won and you haven't. And then I won the race, and I had to give him the trophy.
No, that's beautiful.
So we went to Detroit to get, and then everybody heard the story. So Borg Warner, when I win the race, I'm like, I can't give him my trophy. I mean, he lives in Brazil, he doesn't live here. If he lived here, fine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I called him, I said, hey, can I buy a replica, because I'm not giving him my trophy.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, we'll do something special for him. So the Borg Warner, the big one, you've seen the big one, right? The big one, nobody has. It stays in the museum. They had all the 100 faces that won. It's huge.
That's one trophy.
It's 5.6. It's worth $3.5 million. But then they give you the miniature
of course.
with your face on it, and that's yours. And then they made the only one in the world, and they're never going to make it again. They made a baby, because this is the baby Borg, they call. Then they made a baby Borg, which is like
just like that, but a little bit smaller.
This smaller, and has my face, and says, made it to Leonardo Kanaan by his dad's achievement in the Indianapolis 500.
Wow.
So he has it. So when he had this big, and usually the winner goes to the Detroit Auto Show.
Together with your,
So he got invited, and he actually had to go up there and then get his trophy presented to him and everything. That was awesome.
Wow. He's never talked shit to you again, right?
Oh, he needs to win the Indy 500 if he wants to talk shit to me right now.
That's it. Win the Indy 500.
I bought myself 15
win it
years.
Twice, then you can talk a little shit, but you got to win it twice.
Yeah, because if you win once, you match what I did. So.
And how nice of them to go and make a.
It was a nice
replica.
story, though, you know.
Beautiful.
And I think they obviously capitalized on it as well. It was everywhere.
What a special.
Well, now hopefully his brother won't find out. He's going to ask me for one too.
Well, you'll probably wind up taking that one.
So you have that one.
T, I want to talk to you a little bit once we start rolling again about the power of visualization.
Yeah, I mean, of course, as a kid, my visualization changed as I grow up. As a kid, you're very innocent. All you think about is, how am I going to celebrate when I win? Am I going to get out of the car? I'm going to kiss this hot chick. And, you know, I don't know, I'll do a dance, I'll do something, interviews. And then you grow up, you're like, well, how cool is it going to be to win this thing? But to tell you, like, to be honest, I think growing up, I had the picture, the trophy right behind me, many occasions and in many houses that I lived, stuck in my fridge, stuck in my bicycle that I work out every day. So when I was struggling on the bike and having a bad day working out, I would just look at that and say, okay, that's what I'm here for. And all the struggles that I had through my career, because, you know, I had bad days, a lot more bad days than good days, and then you focus on the goal, you focus on what you're here for, what you're doing that for, and always with the mentality that was, you know, the easiest thing to do is to give up. Anybody can do that, me, you, anybody. And so I said, I don't want to be part of anybody. I want to be somebody, and I'm going to make it. And obviously, over the years, I got the opportunity to be part of the Indy 500, and then I realized I was really good at it. Then it's like, I'm so close. So you know, from 9 years old to 25, when I start doing the Indy 500, it was like, all these things that I visualize, if I had won the race, I could do all of them. I could celebrate. Actually, when you win the 500, you celebrate any way you want it, because you're the winner. After that, you can do whatever you want, because you're the winner. So it became like, okay. So, of course, it comes to the day that you win, and you're so thrilled that 80% of the things that you visualize when you're a kid, you forgot what to do. So you want to, like, can I rewind that and drink that milk in a different way? Can I? So, you know, it's just, it's like that.
It's a fleeting moment. No?
It is. And I think it's better as well, because actually at one point, I would say by my 4th or 5th try of not winning, I actually got mad and I stopped visualizing as well, because I thought that was probably a bad mojo or something. And I said, you know what? The day that it comes, I'll figure out. But don't mistake me, I didn't give up on it. I stopped dreaming about how it was going to be after the fact, after I won. He says, let's concentrate on winning. And then I think the rest will sort it out by itself. And sure enough, I mean, if you look, you know, the pictures, I poured milk over my head, which is like gross. You know, then I had to stick with it for 4 hours doing interviews with milk in my ears, like smelling like bitter, and you know, I didn't celebrate as much as I thought I was going to, because you're like in shock. So, but it was all worth it. But yeah, I mean, I think honestly, people ask me, what's the secret, you know, for your success? What drives you? I don't think there is a secret. You know, I remember talking to a couple of my mentors through life. I said, you know, what is it? How are you so successful? And one of the guys just said, you know what? The more that I work, the more successful I am. So nothing comes easy. And for sure, you know, for me, there is no secret. It was a lot. I had a huge plan. I had planned my entire career when I was 10 years old. Nothing went according to the plan. It was completely different, but at the end, I still achieved the same goal.
Going back to your point about, you know, it's not easy and the work that goes into it, I'd like for you to talk to me a little bit about your training.
It's part of your commitment. I think, you know, for what I do, it requires me to work out. Some people don't realize how tough, how hard it is to drive a race car, but also a lot of people ask me, I'm about to be the first guy to achieve the 300 consecutive Grand Prix races. I'm 40 years old. Nowadays, people write you off when you're 38, 39, they say you're done, because, you know, to be on the top level for so long, you see any athlete, our lives are short as far as being on the top. And to be able to be on the top, you have to take care of yourself. And the only way I'm going to beat the 20-year-old kids that don't have to work out, because I've been there, they work out twice a week. They wake up brand new. We work out 5 times a week and we're in pain. So it's with experience. And I also need to keep myself in shape. I'm not 20 anymore. There are kids that are stronger than me for sure. They're a different breed, right? Different generations. They're already born stronger. It's just the way it is. I remember when I joined the series, I was beating the old guys, the Mario Andretti, the Michael Andretti, the Bobby Rahal, those guys that they're from the generation before mine. So I'm up to that. So it keeps me sharp. It keeps me, I have a system that I do it every morning. You see me in the gym. It's like, people wake up to go to the office. The gym is my office. I won't start my day until I'm done at the gym. And that's why actually for our interview, I asked you to move up a bit, because I had to go to the gym. And then that's part of keeping myself also in my mind. It's not just work out because it's healthy and it's because I need to keep myself in shape for the race car, but also keeps my mind focused on the goal still. And I believe that there are plenty of signs. People rarely, regularly ask me the same question: when are you going to stop? And I think the day that I wake up in the morning and I don't feel like working out anymore, the day that I wake up and I feel like maybe I shouldn't get in that race car today because I'm a little afraid, I'm thinking about my family, I think those would be the signs. So if you don't see me in the gym, either I'm sick or I'm retiring.
You were talking earlier about extending sort of your career, and you've seen how weightlifting and conditioning has done that for countless baseball players and football players who when I was a kid, certainly when you were a kid, you wouldn't see a 40-year-old boxer, a 40-year-old.
It would never happen.
Do you attribute that to, in your case, to the weights and the training?
I think training and eating right as well. Oh, yeah. I think nutrition. People don't realize that, right? We have a perfect example. We go to the gym here, where we live, and how many people we see in the gym as much as us, and they still weigh the same, and they're as big as because they don't eat right. If people realize that eating right, it's going to make you healthier, it's going to make you lose weight, it's going to make you feel better, and that's why I think it's a misconception here. And to me, but yes, I think it's a whole. It comes together. Eating healthy, working out, and living healthy. It's going to make you go longer. I mean, there is no magic. It's just,
there's no pill. There's
no. And you see athletes that take care of themselves. They have less injuries. That's why they last longer. They can play the entire time. How many great athletes had to retire on their primes because their knee, or especially in football, basketball, and us is the same thing, because eventually, no matter what I do, my reflexes are gonna slow down, and some of that stuff that I can't control, then for what I do, I'm gonna have to quit. But I'm not seeing that anytime soon. I'm not a quitter. People ask me when I'm gonna retire. I think somebody's gonna have to retire me. I'm not gonna make that call. The day that I can't find a job anymore, that'll be the day. Okay, I'm not gonna say, hey, I don't see myself saying, Tony, this is my last year of racing. I decided that this is it. I'm gonna go take care of my family. I'm gonna spend more time with my kids. I'm not made like that. I think there is space for everybody. I think there is, there's time for the kids. There's time for racing. So somebody will retire me eventually.
Hopefully that'll be a long time from now.
I hope so.
A long
10
time
more
from
years.
Now. But you know what? Since we're on that subject, looking back, I mean, you're not able, or you won't be able, to write the history of your sport without mentioning your name. So understanding that and knowing that, how would you like to be remembered?
You know, it's tough to talk about yourself, but I think the way I live nowadays, you know, I live for my kids, and I think I try to pass my experience to the young kids, that to have hope, right? To see, look, a young kid, we had money, I lost my dad, we lost all the money, I had everything going wrong for me, and I could have made, my life could have made a turn, and I could have become the biggest loser or trouble kid, because I had the freedom. I was 13, I was taking care of my mom, I was, you know, I didn't have to tell her where I was going, why I was going, like, it's just free, I was free. So I could have done anything, I could have tried any type of drugs, I could have done, honestly, it's out there, right? So I lived through trying to show these kids that if you're committed to something, something good is gonna come out of it. It doesn't necessarily mean, I try to tell my son all the time, it's not because you have a goal and that's what you're going to achieve, but by concentrating and focusing on that, it might open up for so many other opportunities that you never know. So I wanted to be remembered as a guy that had nothing, came from nothing, conquered a lot, but I'm still the same person, I still have the same values, and that's what you take. I mean, yeah, it's nice to show all the helmets back here. I could take you to the office and show you the 200, 300 trophies that I have, but one day I'll be gone, and those are just gonna be there. Somebody might take care of them, somebody just might leave them collecting dust. And the way I wanted to be remembered is, you know, to show everybody that you gotta fight, man. It's life is a fight, and you gotta do it. It's no, you know, giving up. It's again, it's so easy. I hate losers. I hate losing. And like I used to say, you know, second place is the first loser.
That's a great attitude, and it served you well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's what I chose for myself. It's easy to say, but when I, you know, when I was young, my biggest conflict, taking an advice from somebody, my question was, have you done it? Have you been through it? Then I would believe you. Just for you to say, you gotta go to school, because otherwise, well, have you done it? Yes. Well then, okay, well, then you know what you're talking about. So I think I proved what hard work does, and hopefully we have plenty of kids. It's the next generation of us doing the same thing.